This is Ken. Me and him have been training Jiu Jitsu for around the same amount of time, and he's always been my main training partner. That is, until he moved to Austin to train at B Team, the second best Jiu Jitsu gym in the world, for a year. But now he's back, and me and him are gonna have a rematch to see how good he got after a year training at B Team. To start off the roll, I push into Ken. When he pushes back into me, I slide under him, looking for a heel hook like I'm a discount Gordon Ryan. But his heel slips, so I just decide to come on top. I start working to get past Ken's guard. I've rolled with Ken so many times, I knew the best way to pass his guard was to pass to the outside, so that's what I do. However, the unexpected ends up happening. As I'm pressuring forward, we go into a wall and Ken throws his leg over to start locking up a triangle. I try pulling out, but he locks his legs. I try posturing up, but he just gets it tighter and tighter. I felt the choke coming in. I go for a Hail Mary escape. I try spinning out, but I just end up in an even worse position, and Ken's able to get the tap. Ken had clearly gotten better after last year. This was going to be a tough roll. I had to pull out my A game, playing butterfly guard. I clear his collar tie and grab a 2-on-1, lift him above me. I grab double underhooks, and because I'm already around his arm, I'm able to just come up and take his back.
That was easy.
From the back, I trap one of Ken's arms and start looking for a triangle. However, he starts spinning out. But as he's spinning, I go for an arm triangle. But the thing about Ken is that he's really hard to submit. I feel like I got a good bite on his neck, but Ken's still able to survive the arm triangle. So I start looking for the rear triangle again, but time was running out. So I go for a Hail Mary armbar, and Ken's able to escape. I decide to change up the game plan and do some wrestling. I try grabbing a single leg, but I settle for an underhook. We start circling around, and this is my favorite time to go for a foot sweep, because I already know where he's going to be stepping. So I take a step and trip out Ken's foot to put him on bottom. Ken tries elevating me, but I jump over the top. I couldn't let Ken be up on submission, so I sit back looking for a leg lock. For some reason, I always make these faces when I go for leg locks. Ken starts freeing his legs, so I come on top and grab an underhook. I try going for another foot sweep, but Ken's ready for it. Ken shoots without much setup, so I'm able to sprawl. He inverts and goes into K-guard, but I do the trusty old stack pass and bring Ken's hips over his head. Then I push my chest forward to pass into side control. Ken gets a near side underhook, which means he has one less arm protecting his neck, so I start looking for a north-south choke. I push his other arm under my chest, and now there's nothing stopping me from getting to his neck. I slowly start locking it up, getting closer and closer to his neck. I close it up and go for the finish. My bicep is closing off one artery, and my lat is closing off the other. I go all in, but Ken does not tap. I just gas out my arm. This was not looking good. Ken had become absolutely untappable, it seemed. I may be dominating positionally, but at the end of the day, he was still up 1-0. I knew that if I wanted to tap him, I had to change up the game plan somehow. I play my butterfly guard. I start elevating Ken. He tries pummeling out, but I'm able to cut an angle and go for a heel hook. I try finishing it, but his heel slips. But this is when I made a mental shift. Decided to be more patient with this one. Ken may be up a submission, but there was no point rushing it. Me rushing all those previous submissions was just making it hard for myself. I grab onto an overhook, then clear Ken's grip on my ankle. I throw my leg over, and bro, why do I make these faces whenever I go for leg locks? The key principle when it comes to exposing the outside heel hook is rotating the knee inward. So I cross my feet and use my knee and my hand to turn his knee inward. Combined with me putting pressure on his toes, I'm able to expose his heel. I lock up the heel hook and start bridging in to get the tap. Now me and Ken are even, but I'm trying to get one more sub before the round is over. Ken grabs a collar tie and tries inside tripping me, but I just push his weight forward and get behind him. He starts standing upright, which gives me the perfect opportunity to go for a lift and mat return. I try trapping his arm, but he frees it, so I start getting my hooks inside. Ken turns, so I take mounts instead. If you're wondering what rash guard I'm smothering Ken with, well, it's from X Martial, the sponsor of this video. While I'm in mount, let me tell you about them. They're a Jiu-Jitsu clothing brand that offers high quality gear, which is perfect for those trying to upgrade from the baggy t-shirt and basketball short combo that we see white belts wear to no-gi class. I know who you are. I really like what the brand is doing for the Jiu-Jitsu community, They've given out over $10,000 worth of gear in 2023 and have sponsored over 300 athletes. So check them out with the link in the description. They have some great deals on their website, and you can make them even better by using code JOSHRICH for 10% off. Thanks to them for sponsoring this video. Now we're back. And I'm trying to triangle Ken, but he's keeping his arms tight. So it becomes apparent to me that my best option is to go for the armbar. So we start doing the transition. The only problem is, I know Ken's really good at the hitchhiker escape, so it won't be easy to tap him. I grab his leg to prevent any kind of escapes. I start breaking his grip. However, Ken walks his legs away and flings his arm back. Try controlling his wrist, but he slips his elbow out to get the hitchhiker escape. How is our role different versus a year ago?
I feel like I did get better like over the year, but I feel like you got so much better.
Oh, really? Okay. Thanks to Ken for the role. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to subscribe and check out X Marshall with the link in the description to get some awesome rash guards.